Most lifters think their chest doesn't stand out because it isn't big enough, but that's usually not the real problem. You can bench heavy for years, do countless push-ups, and never miss chest day, yet your chest still looks flat in a shirt, disappears from certain angles, or lacks that powerful look some people seem to build effortlessly. Here's why. A chest isn't just one muscle, it's a structure. And like any structure, it has key parts that need to be built properly. Miss one, and the whole thing looks incomplete. That's why two people can have the same chest size, yet one looks dramatically more impressive. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 chest areas most lifters ignore, but everyone notices. One creates the upper shelf that stands out through a t-shirt. One builds the frame that makes your chest look wider and more athletic. And the last one acts like a bridge between your chest and shoulders. Most people never train these areas correctly. Some don't even know they exist. And the third one might be the reason your chest still looks like it's missing something, no matter how much you bench. Let's fix that. Let's start with the part of the chest that changes your appearance before anyone even notices how big your chest is. The upper chest. Think of it as the top floor of the structure. This is the area that sits just below your collarbone and creates that shelf-like look that shows through almost any t-shirt. When it's developed, your chest looks complete. When it's missing, even a big chest can look unfinished. And this is where most lifters accidentally go wrong. They spend years hammering flat bench presses, building the middle of the chest over and over again, while the upper fibers barely get enough work to grow. The result is a chest that carries all its mass low. From the front, it might look decent, but from almost every other angle, it lacks height, shape, and presence. What's interesting is that this area does more than improve appearance. The upper chest acts like a bridge between your chest and shoulders. When it's weak, both muscle groups work like separate engines. When it's strong, force transfers smoothly from one to the other, making every pressing movement feel stronger and more connected. So how do we build it? The best tool for the job is the low incline dumbbell press. And the detail most people miss is the angle. Set the bench around 30 degrees, not 45. At 45 degrees, your front delts start stealing the work. At 30 degrees, the upper chest becomes the star of the movement. As you lower the dumbbells, stay controlled. Feel the stretch building across the upper chest. No bouncing, no rushing. Then drive the weights upward and imagine bringing your biceps toward each other at the top. That's where you'll feel a tight contraction right beneath the collarbone. And pay attention to that feeling, because if you only feel your shoulders working, you're missing the target completely. But when the angle is right, you'll feel tension in a place many lifters have never felt before. A deep burn across the top of the chest that tells you the shelf is finally doing its job. But here's the interesting part. Even a fully developed upper chest can still look incomplete if the structure around it is missing. And that's where the second overlooked area changes everything. Now let's talk about the part of the chest almost nobody trains on purpose. Yet it's one of the first things that separates an average physique from an athletic one. The serratus anterior. Most people have heard the name, but very few understand what it actually does. Think of the serratus as the frame around the chest. If the upper chest is the top floor, the serratus is the structure wrapping around the sides, giving everything shape, width, and definition. Without it, the chest simply stops. You have muscle in the middle, but no real transition into the ribs. No visible structure, no detail. Everything looks flat and one-dimensional. But when the serratus is developed, something interesting happens. The chest starts looking wider without actually becoming wider. The entire upper body gains depth. You begin to see those ridges along the sides of the ribcage that make the physique look athletic, powerful, and complete. And this isn't just about aesthetics. The serratus plays a huge role in controlling your shoulder blades. Every press, every push-up, every overhead movement depends on those shoulder blades moving correctly. When the serratus is weak, stability suffers. Force leaks out. Strength disappears before it reaches the weight. That's why some people keep getting stronger, while others stay stuck despite training just as hard. The exercise we're going to use is the dumbbell pullover. At first glance, it looks like a simple movement, but done correctly, it becomes one of the best tools for building this forgotten frame. Lie flat on a bench and hold one dumbbell with both hands above your chest. Slowly lower it behind your head. Keep descending until your arms move slightly past your ears, and this is where most people quit. The stretch starts getting uncomfortable, the shoulders feel loaded, the range feels unfamiliar, so they stop short. Don't, because the moment you enter that deep stretch is the moment the serratus begins doing its best work. You'll feel tension spreading along the sides of your ribcage, almost like someone is pulling the frame of your upper body outward under tension. Then bring the dumbbell back overhead with complete control. No jerking, no rushing. Let the muscle do the work. By the later reps, you should feel a deep burn wrapping around the sides of your ribs. That's the frame coming to life. But even with a strong upper chest and a fully developed serratus, there's still one missing piece. And this final area is what determines whether your chest and shoulders look like separate muscles or one powerful structure working together. Now we get to the area almost nobody talks about, not because it's unimportant, because most people don't even realize it's there. Where your chest meets your shoulder is a small transition zone that has a huge impact on how your upper body looks and performs. Think of it as the bridge connecting your chest and shoulders. When this area is weak, your chest and shoulders work like separate pieces. Strength leaks away, and visually, you end up with a gap that makes the upper body look incomplete. You've probably seen it before. Guys with decent chest size and solid shoulders, yet something still looks off. The muscles don't flow together. But when this junction is developed, everything changes. The chest blends naturally into the shoulder, creating a fuller, stronger, and more athletic look. To target it, use the low to high crossbody press. Start with the handle or dumbbell near your opposite hip and press upward toward the opposite shoulder, not straight up, across your body. That angle is the key. You'll feel tension move directly through the connection point between the chest and shoulder, a spot most lifters never train intentionally. At the top, pause and squeeze. If you only feel your front delt, lower the angle slightly and focus on driving across your body. And here's the interesting part. This exercise won't give you the biggest pump in the gym, but over time, it can create one of the biggest visual improvements because it fixes a detail most lifters completely ignore. The upper chest builds the shelf, the serratus builds the frame, and this area builds the bridge. 3 pieces, one complete structure, and that's where most lifters go wrong. The answer isn't doing more, it's training the right areas. The upper chest builds the shelf, the serratus creates the frame, and the chest to shoulder junction ties it all together. Build all 3, and your chest looks fuller, stronger, and more complete. Which area is your weakest right now? The shelf, the frame, or the bridge? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more training tips that actually make a difference. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.